Okay, so this video is about how the speakers work. Now we have two line arrays. You have the ones up by the front of the stage, and they have speakers hanging right and left, and the subwoofers. Now that speaker, as of the time this video is getting made, I believe it's that speaker. Yeah, the highs are blown, so we need to get a new driver for that. So it's going to sound not as good front of house, front by the stage, as it does back here, because there's one set of highs that are blown. You have those speakers and the subwoofers. When you're starting the show at the night, you want to make sure that the speakers are on and the subwoofers are on, and that the subwoofers are plugged in. Before, people were plugging the speakers in wrong. Now they can't really do that. You just got to make sure that the microphone cables behind the bass bins are plugged into the back of the bass bins. Put your head down there and make sure that the bass bins have sound coming out of them. The same with back here. You have two speakers hanging there, and you have one subwoofer that's over here behind the curtain. And let me come over here. So there's a subwoofer behind the curtain, and same thing. Speakers above here and this subwoofer are together. So if a night is going and this subwoofer is not on, it's not going to sound as good. The reason being is because they're crossed over, and this subwoofer needs to come on to make sure there's low end. Otherwise, all you're going to have is mids and highs. So you want to come back and make sure that there's sound coming out of this subwoofer. Whoops, let me get this cord out of the way. You want to make sure that you come back and make sure there's sound coming out of this subwoofer behind the curtain. Back here in the back, I don't even see that. Not even on. So, okay, that blue light needs to be on. If that blue light, if that blue light is not on, the subwoofer is not on. This volume right here, get that in focus. So this volume right here, if you look underneath it, there's that line on the top of the volume. It's backwards, so that line needs to be pointing directly opposite of the zero on the back of the subwoofer. So directly straight down is 50%, and that's where it needs to be, because that's when I tuned the room. That's what that subwoofer is at 50%. So if I take this knob and turn it, that's off. You don't want it off. You want that line right there directly pointed straight down. So that's 50% volume, and that's exactly where it needs to be at for the room tuning. And this needs to be plugged in. If there's no audio coming out of this subwoofer, you need to make sure that it is turned on and that cord is plugged in, and this is turned where the line is pointed directly to the ground. I can't stress that enough. These are crossed over by room tuners. So if your subwoofer there is not turned on, these aren't going to have no low end. All they're going to have is mids and highs. They're not going to sound good. No low end will come out of these speakers ever, the way they're set up. You have to have the subwoofer on to have low end. So subwoofer has to be on. And many times I've came in here and they have not been on. Same with up there. If there's no sound coming out of those subwoofers, you need to figure it out. Either turn them on, make sure that the cord in the back is plugged in, or the subwoofer is even plugged into a power supply, because sometimes I've come back and the subwoofers have not even ever been plugged in. Bottom subwoofers are in line with these things. They're tuned, so all the low end comes out of there. Only mids and highs come out of there. So no subwoofers, no low end. And you can come back here and make sure that they're on by looking back here. There's a little blue light in the back right there. Blue light's on, it's on. But the best way to look at it and find out is to put your head in front of it and make sure that there's bass coming out of it.